Hello, in this Java video we are going to take a look at variables. So what are variables? Variables are a way of storing data. Honestly, at the core, there's nothing more to it than that. There are different data types that you have to specify for your variable. I'm going to cover that in a separate video, so feel free to check that out. But we're just going to cover, how to create a variable. So creating a variable is actually pretty simple. So we'll deal with the integer variable in this video entirely because we'll cover the different types that you can have as well. So to do an integer variable, you put the keyword int space. Now you name your variable. So I'm gonna name it, I don't know, I would name it age. So I'm gonna put my age, and you can put a semicolon. That's fine as well. And you can assign a value to it. You can do age equals 26. So I am 26 as of creating this video. So let's just go over what this is doing. So this is saying create a variable called age, and its data type is an integer, which means it can only contain integers, which are whole numbers. It can be negative numbers, but whole numbers only. So let's analyze what line 8 is doing. Line 8 is saying assign what's on the right of the equals to what's on the left. So assign 26 to age. Equals in this context is assignment. Sometimes in other contexts it can be sort of comparison. Comparison is slightly different. We'll cover that later on in this series. So this is moaning, and it'll just be because it's not used. We haven't actually used it. We've assigned it, but we haven't used it anywhere. Again, don't worry about that. That's just Eclipse and some other IDEs that can sort of hover around like a helicopter parent and just constantly asking you, are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Why have you done this? Sort of like that. So let's use the print line, which we learned a couple of videos ago. So system.out.println. And before we just put in a string, which is fine, but we can actually specify a variable as well. So if we run this now, it prints out 26. That's pretty cool. So there's another way that you can create a variable as well. So you can do int, or whatever data type you're choosing. And let's say I'll put for this, what should I call this? I'll call it, trying to think of something decent to actually call this variable. I'll call it, I don't know, call it hello, doesn't really matter. And instead of putting semicolon, what you can do is put equals and then assign the value there. So this just declares the variable and this initializes it. This declares and initializes the variable. This doesn't mean that you can't assign another value to hello later on. So you could, I'll demonstrate that, down below. So if I were to put here, system.out.println, and I put in hello, and if I run it, it will print out 9. If afterwards I were to put hello equals, I don't know, -6, and I run it, it's still 9, and that's because the print line of the hello variable came before the change. So it goes in a linear fashion, code does, in Java and pretty much all languages. Now if we run it, it has the newer value, and you can reassign or update a value for age as well, and any other variable pretty much. So that's it for, I'll say, the basics of variables. We're going to cover data types, which is essentially extending on top of variables. We'll cover modifier types as well, and we'll cover a few other really cool things to do with variables. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.